Hello YouTubers, this is cessnaace back again with another My Comic Book Collection 30 More Comics video. Now, down in the description box you will find a list of my Patreon supporters. You will find a list of all of the publishers in which I have shown comics in this video from. Also, you will find a link to Patreon/cessnaace. I have made two more Patreon exclusive posts tonight. One is, well, something new. I'm going to start logging all of the comics in my collection that I have read recently. And I didn't count them, but I think there were about 10 or so that I listed in that first entry. Now, the second post had to do with an update on the comics that will be shipped to me from Things from Another World, Radio Comics, IDW, and print-on-demand comics from Indie Planet. Now tonight I added another 38. So we're well over 220, probably closer to 230 issues listed that are going to be coming within the next few months. All right, we start off with a comic from Sky Comics. This is Blood and Roses, Search for the Time Stone, #1. Nice cover. On the back, you can see that they offered a trading card set. At least one. And although I have over 80 trading card sets that are not sports related, I don't have this one that is listed on the back. All right. I also recently had to order more comic book supplies because even though I had ordered 200 boards and 300 bags, I am out of bags. All right. Valiant Comics. This is issue 0 of Bloodshot. And we jump from issue 0 to issue 20. All right. Bloodshot. We go to Blood Strike from Image. This is issue 3. And issue 8. Now on some of the shipping updates that I've been posting at Patreon/cessnaace, I have been following the dictates of the people who have taken part in the poll that I posted in the community section of my channel on, it had to do with trades and so forth. So I've been listing my the missing issues that I need for my collection, my wish list. And in some of those posts, well, the posts that include my wish list, I add my mailing address for people who want to send me their wish lists. Because not only do I have several comics that I have duplicates of on certain issues. I also have a tendency to buy comics in lots on eBay, and so if I know what you're looking for, I could keep an eye open for it. This is from DC. This is issue 1. First issue collector's item. This is Blood Syndicate. Now we move to Dynamite, covering a lot of publishers in this video. This is issue 4. I don't have the first 3 issues, unfortunately. Bob's Burgers. Now, I saw a documentary recently that mentioned that the character of Louise was named after an actress on Gilligan's Island, Tina Louise, who played Ginger. I'd much rather they had named a character after Dawn Wells, but, you know, what can you do? And I'm not saying I dislike Tina Louise. I just like Dawn Wells a whole lot, which my wife knows and is cool with. Although she told me she keeps an eye open at one of the local theaters that we live near in case Dawn Wells shows up, because she's still very active in the theater, even though she's in her 80s or turned 80, whatever. She's about 20 years older than I am, but still. Anyway, she was driving past this theater and saw on the marquee Dawn Wells. And even though it was a play that neither one of us was interested in, Steel Magnolias, I was perfectly willing to go to see Dawn Wells. Well, we called, and it turned out that was the last performance that day that she saw the marquee. So, okay, that was issue 4. We jump to issue 8. So I'm going to have to, if I haven't already, add some of the missing issues. Well, add the missing issues to my wish list, because this is a series I want to read. It's just I'm missing so many issues. From the creators of the hit TV show. This is the last issue I have, number 9. Reminds me of a John Lennon song. Number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9. Alright, now we switch to another publisher. Cartoon Books. This is issue 16 of Bone. I used to have more issues of this than I currently do, I am sure. We jump to issue 43. And 46. And that is where my collection ends on this series. Okay, now we move back to Image. This is issue 2 of Boof and the Bruise Crew. Now, I'm dyslexic, so they shouldn't mess with me like this. And I definitely want more issues of this. This is from Gold Key, although it is possible to find issues with the Whitman imprint. They were both owned by the same company, Western Publishing Company. This is Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. The first two issues of this series were named after his then TV series, Thriller. But then with issue 3 onwards, they changed the name to this. And this is issue 51. And see, this is how you do it. If you're going to print your store name on a comic, you do it on the backing board, not in the comic. All right, moving to Marvel. This is issue 4 of the Brotherhood. Now we move to an imprint of DC, Vertigo. This is issue 1 of Brother Lano. Now here is an issue of a series, also from Western Publishing, but on the Whitman imprint. This is Brothers of the Spear. It's not in the best of condition. And as they frequently did not put the issue number on the cover, I write it on the back of the backing board as that other comic that I bought from a comic book shop. They did that, and I picked up on it and started doing it myself. Now, they would vacuum seal their bags so that lowlives wouldn't switch a less expensive comic for a more expensive comic or vice versa. All right, this is from Darby Pop. Bruce Lee, The Dragon Rises. This is issue 1. I'm seeing more gold key ahead. Other titles from Darby Pop. All right. Wait a minute. How did I do that? I'm going to move those back there because I have more bone to show you. Issue 18. I knew I had more issues. $24. $28. $29. $30. $31. 32. $33. Can anyone guess what the next issue is going to be? Haha. 39. Okay, now we move on to the other title that I was talking about from Western Publishing. Although this franchise has been published by other comic book publishers since. These have the issue number printed on the cover. This is Buck Rogers at the 25th Century, issue 6. Cover price 40 cents. While this one has the gold key imprint, issue 7 has the Whitman imprint. And I did it again. Bone 17. Made a real mess out of this one. Alright, the two extra that I pulled. DC did a number of these DC Silver Age classics, and this one is Sugar and Spike. This is a series that started in 1956 and ran until 71, I think. Anyway, it ended with issue 98. This says 99 on it. It includes 2 stories that were never published. And if you were to look up this series in the price guide, Sugar and Spike, you would find that this is an expensive series. We're talking very expensive. I can't spend thousands of dollars on one issue. The coin-op game of the year is now the most action-packed NES game of all time. Giant babies? And now we change publishers again. This is the last of the bonus comics that I pulled. This is from AC, otherwise known as Americomics. This is Untold Origin of FemForce. Cover price $4.95. Back when this came out, that was a lot. However, AC, I believe, is still around. Because I have a FemForce issue coming. See, if you go to Patreon/cessnaace, you would know all these things. "68 pages, all color." let's see. I'll shout out Patreon supporters Graham and Andrew J.M. and Bamse, why not? Alright. Stay. Until next time, stay awesome.